Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and everything else in between. If only you knew the drama that went on behind the scenes 2 minutes before we went live. It was exciting times. Yesterday was Thanksgiving here, and my brain has stopped working. And poor old producer Martha is also going, I've got to get the streams right and all that things. Just FYI, producer Martha, I think we've got some streams missing, just so you know. On the streams, I don't see all of them. Oh, maybe I'm wrong, actually. Yeah, I do see them live. It probably just wasn't updated on my view. The software that we use for the studio updated recently, and most of the time it's exactly the same as the old version, but just where it's different, it's just enough to completely throw me. So it's happy days all round. Who have we got? Oh, Francis Moore from a slightly colder but drier Wilton. Good to hear that it's all going well, Francis, in Wilton. Lovely part of the world. I was watching on Thanksgiving yesterday, I was watching a canal boat tour, and he went, the guy lives on the canal boat, and he was traveling around Staffordshire and all the rest of it, and it made me extremely homesick for the UK. I used to love the canals. I lived in Milton Keynes, where there's a conglomeration of a couple of canals, and then lived in the Midlands, where there was a canal as well. So looking at that rolling green countryside made me very, very homesick for thing. But I am very thankful to be an American citizen and be married to an American as well. Kevin Malavi has got lots of, I don't know what we call those, hearty smile eyes, faces, I don't know. But good to see you. And Helios, hello from Zagreb in Croatia. Nice to know everybody's here. And in a similar kind of part of the world, Romania is Paul Saleh. I hope I'm saying your surname properly. Good to hear from you. And also KK from Iran. Great to hear from you in Iran. I hope everything is going well. Greetings to Pavel in Poland. Of course, we have a very good Polish contingent. And talking about good contingents, Brazil as well. Bom dia to Gilberto in Brazil. Oh, wow. São Carlos, now dry in California. It's a bit like Texas, isn't it? We have snow for about 20 minutes, and then it goes again and everything dries up. So it's good. Hello, my dear friend. May God bless you always. Yes, well, may your God go with you is what Dave Allen used to say, and thank you very much for the well wishes. Abraham, hola, Abraham in Nogales in Mexico, in Sonora as well. Very nice. And who else we got? Victoria in Canada, British Columbia. Oh, there you go. Producer Martha will be interested to see that. She's sometimes in British Columbia herself as well. Olaf from Brazil. And good night from India. Yes, lots of time zones going on. Salut from Paris. Bruno saying hello there, and good evening from Pavel as well. So, wow, lots of countries. What's that? 10 different countries, I think. There, it's and of course I'm sitting in Dallas myself, in Texas, where it is actually quite cold. It's almost freezing outside. I'm not quite sure what the current temperature is. Let's have my watch is refusing to tell me. 49 Fahrenheit. So that's almost freezing, which is not a great thing to have. Just going to turn my notifications off because I've just realised that I've still got them on, and turn that off on my phone. There you go. Okay, so today, wow, hello from Trinidad. Hello, Colin. In Trinidad. Good to have all of you saying hi. And Vikas says he's here from Code with Harry. Hello, everybody. The people that came from Code with Harry, we've occasionally had a little thing going out there, thanks to Harry, and very, very popular. I think he broadcasts in Hindi, or I'm not sure, a Gujarati maybe. But anyway, Code with Harry. Very, very good. Hungary. Wow. And someone else from Brazil as well. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Look, today we're going to talk about a subject that actually turned out to be a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. The reason is that I was going to show you a plugin that convert Figma drawings into Vikas says Code with Harry is in Hindi. Yeah, there you go. I thought it was one or the other. Good. Thanks a lot, guys and girls from the Code with Harry. It's very nice of you to turn up. Gregory Bersaguet is also in France as well. We've got a full house of all countries you could possibly imagine. Imagine all the different time zones you're all in as well, and those people watching on the replay. If you are watching on YouTube or LinkedIn and you haven't done it already, click on that like and subscribe button. I know I sound like some weird influencer, and I'm really not. But if you click on like and then subscribe, what will happen is that we will not know who you are. We've got no way of telling who you are, but you will get notified as soon as we go live. And that way, if you get the times a bit wrong, or you forget about us, or you missed an email where we're registering, asking you to register, you'll get a ping from YouTube or LinkedIn saying, oh, by the way, Embarcadero is going live. And that's who I work for, obviously, down here. But, I'd like you to make sure that you get to see our videos, because I try and make sure that they're not just out and out sales things, not a sales pitch. I'm just trying to show you what you can do with the products, and hopefully, you see something you like and go, you know what, I'm going to download the trial or something like that, and get the community edition or whatever, and try it out for yourself. Because I genuinely believe that using RAD Studio, it sounds like a sales pitch again, but it isn't. I really think it's the easiest way to do these things. And I think if you do it any other way, it's doing it the hard way, honestly. And, there have been a few competitors like Flutter and things like that, but Flutter is being deprecated. We're still here, and we're still here as of next year on February 14th. Delphi will have been around for 30 years, 30 years. And you can still open a Delphi 7 program, for example, open it in RAD Studio 12.2, which is the latest version, and it'll open and work. I mean, if you've got some third-party components, you might need to upgrade them, but it will still work. There are very few systems out there that you can say is true. So, it's pretty crazy. Victor is also Samura, Boston, Massachusetts, Samura in Russia, San Juan in Puerto Rico. And Muzio says, hello from Italy. Thank you all for joining me. So we really do. We have ticked every possible country and box there is, and including, I know we've got some people from the Philippines and a few other places as well watching. Look, okay, so today we're going to talk about using RAD Studio, which is that thing there. If you scan it and go to the code, you can download a trial if you haven't already got one, or download the community edition and do all the things I'm doing today. I'm only going to show you how to get some ideas from Figma and a few other places, and then how to basically lay them out. But I was, like I say, hoping to show a plugin that would do it automatically. But unfortunately, I tried the plugin and it doesn't work. So that was a bit of a problem. I'm not going to call the name of it out because I don't want to embarrass the people. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I was too tired from Thanksgiving and all that turkey, or maybe it is broken and they haven't had a chance to fix it. But I tried that plugin. However, let's share my screen and let's go to talking about what's going on. So let me share my screen. And on the screen, that one. Is this the correct one? Yes, it is. So today we are going to talk about some of the design applications or design programs that are available, and look at what they can offer. Mohammed says hi from Earth. Yeah, good job. I think we all qualify of saying hi from Earth as well. And Joinville in Brazil. I love Brazil. Very nice place. Had a conversation with a bunch of Brazilian MVPs yesterday. It was a good meeting. Anyway, we are looking today at 3 different design programs, talk about the benefits of them, and then just grab a design from one of them and look at how we can actually extract some of the bits out of the template to recreate the screen that they've designed. So the first product that I'm not going to really do much with, but just talk about it, because these are the three market leaders, I suppose, is the best way of saying it. And hello from Algeria. And the market leader is really Sketch, which is this app here. Now, if you go to the Sketch website, it is a Mac only or web only design product, and it is extremely popular. It is used by a lot of different people for lots of different purposes, not just designing apps and app layout screens and stuff like that, but also for presentations, PDFs, graphics, and you name it, it's used for it. I like it. It's pretty good. The pricing is reasonably cost effective, depending on which way you're going, and they also even have an option to say, oh, if you're already using Figma, then come to us and we will give you some kind of benefit. I'm assuming there's a competitive upgrade price, but the standard subscription for Sketch, which like I say, I'm not really going to show too much at the moment, is $10 a month. It's okay. You can get started for free. If you do that, what it does is downloads a trial, and you can then use a trial. I think it's a 30-day trial or something like that. Acapulco. Well, are you going loco down in Acapulco? Oh, I sound like a terrible DJ now, don't I? But yes, Acapulco. Sketch. Well, it sums up what it does. It's a toolkit used by designers for designers. And that's really the strength of this product. It is used really to design some really quite stunning graphics and handouts and things like this. So this is a nice little handheld device or something like that. This is a layout of their screen, and you've got all sorts of little artifacts, like you can drop on things to create screens. We're not actually going to show this, but you just needed to know that Sketch was available. It is one of the three things that we're looking at. The next one is even more widely used, I believe. My daughter used this as well, and that is Figma. Figma is an interesting product. It is exactly the same kind of idea. You use it, and they've got a nice little graphic here that shows how it's being used. So you can lay out wireframes for your apps, and it's got some capabilities, like, if I remember correctly, you can make it a clickable preview, so that if you clicked on the thing that said "Hi Chef," it would go to the next screen and stuff like that. I don't claim to be an expert on these products. It's not really my scene, but you get the general idea. It's got some capabilities to morph around between these previews, but also they've got lots of ready-made templates. Great stuff. Again, the pricing is, I think, roughly the same. Yeah, so the free version of this, and this is not really an advert so much for Figma, but free, you can have 3 designs on the go. So their plan is slightly more generous than the Sketch plan, and then you can go to the other ones, like $15 a month or $45 a month. So give or take a few dollars, it is roughly the same price, and does some things. I really like Figma. My daughter used it and thought it was great, and she is a professional graphic designer, although she's not doing that at the moment, but that is what she does. Go to their website, and I'm going to put all of those up in a moment, so you can go directly to them, and you can design your apps that way. That's the other one. Now, the final one I'm going to talk about right now, and I'm just going to close that for a moment so you can see what's going on, is Canva. I'm going to hide that QR code because it's in the way. But Canva is probably my favorite for a few different reasons. All 3 of those, Canva, Figma, and Sketch, are designed to allow a web designer, a graphic designer, or something like that to design either web pages or app designs or logos or handouts or publications for a brochure or something like that. and very, very snazzy stuff. They all work very, very similar. The reason I like Canva the best is it's got a very generous free version, which allows you to do anything. But more importantly, what they've also got is a whole bunch of designs and templates you can go to. So, for example, this one is an example template. It'll come in and it'll do, I'm going to say no thanks. I've got the app installed on my machine, but it's got a toroid going in there and there's an animation on there and all the rest of it. Fairly basic, but this is what they do. They design these things for you, and off you go. You can have these ready-made templates. Again, if you were to choose more and see all of the different things, lots of different common layouts that they've got for whiteboards, social media, docs, and so on and so forth. Now, it's going to be a fairly short presentation today, but a lot of it will be me talking about this. I'm just going to see what somebody says in the chat there. Digital art with Canva waves at us. Hello. That's really good. I believe that may be someone who is actually some Canva person. Hello. I don't know who you are, but hi. And hello, Pete from El Centro, California as well. Now, hello, chat. A hug from Brazil. Yes. Okay. So we've got lots of people saying hi. So, what is it that I like about all of these apps? Well, when you're designing your applications in RAD Studio, we do give you a lot of ready-made things set up to get you going. So if you have RAD Studio installed, you can go into the Get It Package Manager, which I'll show you in a moment, and you can download some ready-made templates yourself. In fact, if I open this up and go to here and go to Get It Package Manager, which is RAD Studio, and then I don't know why my patch is being installed. Oh, I see. But if I say something like industry templates, there are a whole bunch of ready-made app designs that you can use, and they are, professionally designed, and they're a kind of a quick start way of getting to the point where you've got the app running. And Digital Art from Canva says, always looking to learn new things. Yep, me too. And so are the people on this webinar. That's why they come and join us. Thanks for joining us. So we do have some ready-made templates and things like that. But as cool as they are, and some of them are really quite excitingly beautiful, I think that when you go to some of these ready-made details on apps like Canva, you'll find there is a lot more. Now, if I remember correctly, let me go to their pricing. Yeah, their plans and pricing explain what you get. Okay, so with their Canva free plan, you get access to what they say here, which is 1 million plus professionally designed templates, which is pretty generous, really, considering it's free. And 1,000 plus more design types, social posts, and more, and 3 million stock photos. If you pay up, if you pay, it's roughly $10 a month, I think, then you'll get all sorts of other upgrades, which of course is what everybody would call the freemium model. It's nothing to be sneezed at. That is exactly the kind of model that we use at Embarcadero. If you use a community edition, eventually you're going to get to the point where you outgrow the community edition and you're wanting to do more and, what's the word I'm looking for? Crossover into using a paid version. That's the word I'm looking for. And it's the same thing here. I haven't actually looked at the educational. Oh, I see. So if you're an educational thing, they've got some other plans there. Well, there you go. Very nice. So just to recap, 1 million professionally designed templates. What do they mean by that? Well, if we go back to there, if you pick on any of these, it will show you a different, various selection of templates. And likewise, if you go into here, you can go down and choose anything like. So you've got to remember that Canva is designed for designers. And so there are things like brochures, there are things like website outlines and graphics, there are things like logo ideas and stuff like that. Lots and lots of stuff, whiteboards, polls and quizzes. They've included some AI recently. And again, I'm not a graphic design expert in this program, so I can't give you a good overview, but it is a good site and I like it. But what I really liked was that you can pick some of these examples and really use them as a basis for producing your programs, your own applications. Now, what I did was I went along and read through their licenses. Okay. Now, as far as I can tell on the licenses, the idea is that they are, because I thought, well, hang on, if you choose a template, does that mean that you can then reuse that and go and do something with it, like a website? And the answer is yes, but. So if you chose an app template design or an Instagram post, you are licensed by them. This is my understanding of it. You are licensed by them to basically use that template and tweak it, maybe change a couple of things, change a border or something like that. So it is effectively an original artwork, and then you can use it without paying any royalties, which is absolutely what you would expect, really. Otherwise, what's the point in having a template? The only real restrictions they appear to have in the licensing is if you started reselling all these templates and pretending they're yours, which obviously is not a bad idea, or if you bundled them out and made them into some kind of template set for a different product. Let's say you were using Canva and you bundled them out to be suitable for Figma, then again, I think they would come chasing after you. If you're not sure about whether the licensing affects you or not, you should get your own advice, because I'm not here to give you legal advice. I'm just a guy who writes programs and talks about it, and I'm not a legal advisor. So get your own, it's our company's caveat there. Get your own professional advice. So Mohammed also says something, which is a good point here. The low-level code introduced in RAD Studio Sydney, the mobile template, should be there for the latest version in Delphi. Get it? Yes, it's not. You're talking about the mobile wizard. It's not in there at the moment because we looked at it and there were a number of things that had changed in that template, and so we removed it temporarily. Excuse me, 1 second. Drinking some water. The reason that we removed it was it was just too much effort for us to get out the 12.2 release and also address that app. There is a little plan in place to bring it back, but it requires some external help from some of our MVPs. But I know exactly what you mean. I think it's quite important as well. What that was, for those that didn't know, you could go into the low-code app wizard, pick a few settings, and it would create an app for you, and it would be an outline app. But that's not available in the current version. It will be eventually. So let's go here. RAD Studio is the tool we're talking about, and if we choose one of the ready-made templates, and I've obviously gone through and had a look at a few that I liked, I chose this one. Now, if any of you are, I'm going to say no thanks, I don't want it in the Canva app. Oh, click on the right window here. Yeah. For those of you that are Chapel Rowan fans, Pink Pony Club is the song. The minute I see this design, I always think of Pink Pony Club, because this is, oh boy, this is like kind of garishly pink. But why not? If this is an app design that suits you, then here you've got someone who's designed, come up with a design idea for presumably what you would think is a multimedia app. Now, in actual fact, this is, in reality, this is listed as an Instagram add. So it wouldn't quite fit into the screen. You'd have to do a little bit of work to do that. But funnily enough, I can tell you that if I open RAD Studio and go to the iPhone version, get rid of that, there is exactly the same thing. So I'll just go back to the web page for a moment. There is the Pink Pony Club, I suppose I'm going to call it, kind of super bubblegum version. And if we go back into RAD Studio, there is another version of it as well. Now, how did I get to this point? Well, I first of all wanted to show you that Canva and some of these other apps have got some really great ideas. I'm going to just minimize this down a bit so that we can have them both on the screen at the same time. Can I turn this bit off? Yes, I can. Good, cool. Not easy to drive this browser like this. Do I want to open this design event? No, thank you. I don't want to do that. I know I could say, remember. But what I did here was I created a new FireMonkey app because I wanted it to be multi-platform. And I got these various resources. Oh, come on. I got these various resources exported, put them into here, and then use the design to inform my design. That's the professional phrase of it, inform my design. And there are a couple of ways of doing it. Now, I actually exported these by hand, but I realized that there is actually another way around it. And that is, as long as you're keeping within the guidelines of their licensing, what you can do, come on, you can do it. No, thank you. I do not want to open that. You can go to share and you can say download, and there's a number of different options. One of them, and this is, there should be an add-on for Canva that could export this, but the one I found didn't do this. You can export this. This is, by the way, this is created as layers. So if I go here, for example, you'll see there's all sorts of things like I can twist it and I can change the corner rounding. It's very much like FireMonkey, like the object inspector. You can position it. I can send it to the back. I can change the colors and all the rest of it. But if I click on share and then download and then pick this PowerPoint, okay, and in a moment it will get it ready and it'll say save as. I'm going to save it as here. This is where I want it to go. I'm going to save it here. So now pink and fuchsia chic music pop playlist cover. Okay, whatever. If I click on here, you can see it downloaded. Now I'm going to do two things. First of all, I'm going to make a copy of this like that. Secondly, I'm going to open it in the PDF what's the word I'm looking for? PowerPoint, so you can see it in PowerPoint. That's a pretty good PowerPoint representation. There's all the graphics, and I can click on them individually, and you can see it has done a very, very good job of exporting all the layers in various ways. Okay, but the thing about a PPTX file is that if I do this, go to the end and rename it to a .zip file. Not many of you may, some of you may know this, but you can, Digital Art with Canva says you can create custom design size for this too. So yes, yeah, exactly. So you can get the exact size you need as well. Hey, if you could ping me on your message there as well, Digital Art with Canva. If you have, I see you've got a YouTube symbol there. Can you also email me, I'm going to put my email up on the screen. Just 1 second. Digital Art with Canva, if you can email me the link to your channel, because I can't see it on my chat that I've got at the moment, and also who you are, I'd be interested in talking to you, because I'd like to do some more on this and you know, maybe help promote you a little bit as well about what you're doing, because I'm the Embarcadero developer advocate. I normally say this at the start of the stream, so I didn't do it today because well, I just didn't, I forgot. But email me and I'd be interested in talking to you. So that would be cool. Pin it in the chat. Okay, yeah, all right, I'll do that. Ian.barker@embarcadero.com, and this will actually go out to all of the channels, so everybody should be able to see it. Anyway, so yes, if you rename a PowerPoint file, there are lots of exports, okay, in Canva, lots of add-ons and things like that. But if you do this and rename that PowerPoint, you get a zip file. And if you go into the zip file, there's a folder called PowerPoint. And here are all the different bits and bobs from that PowerPoint. Now, if I instead say, and I've got 7-zip installed on here, but any zip tool would do it, go to 7-zip and say, extract it into a folder so I can actually go into it, and go down into PowerPoint, and I go to the media. There are all the graphics from that design. So like I said, when I did this, I actually got these designs here and manually created images from them. But I discovered that because they're doing a PowerPoint export, you can actually take the individual elements as well. This is effectively a bodge, is the best way of calling it, or a hack. The reason is there isn't an export that will export to FireMonkey at the moment. We do have someone who is intending to try and write a couple of exports for this, so that we can, you know, automatically create FireMonkey screens from there. But at the moment, that's not possible. But there's all your graphics, including things like grad fills and SVGs. So, you know, and you can't really see the SVG in the profile there, the preview there, but even the crazy girl from the image, all exported. So you can get these. That's the hard way, was the way I did it, which was I copied it and saved it out and all the rest of it. Again, take advice. If you're going to do this for real, instead of in an educational session like I'm doing, you need to make sure that you are not breaking the rules of their license. I can do this because most educational things like this are covered by fair use. But here you can see how I did it. So what I did was I took the images from that design. I'm going to just bring it back up on the screen, minimize it down again to that same size. So I took the images from the design, no thank you, and got a T image control from RAD Studio. I did it. I started off with a completely blank app. So I went File, New, Multimedia Device Application, and chose a blank application version. Okay. Once I'd done that, I then put a panel on because I wanted to have a panel in the middle. And I started dropping the images on. So these are T image controls. And if we just go to down here and say, image control, you can see in the standard controls as a T image control. I put them over on the side so they're off screen slightly so that they're clipped. I had to resize them as well. The same with all of these. This here is actually a skier label control. And what I did there was I went into there, and I'm not sure whether you're familiar with this, but Skier has its own text settings options, so you can do things like decorate it with, you know, weird shadows and stuff like that. You can choose which font, and because Skier is supports the idea of font families, you can have different families of fonts for different devices. You can slant it and do all sorts of other things as well. And then the text was from the design, the reference design that we downloaded, top playlist. This here is a center panel. Okay, so it is a T rectangle. And what I did there was I changed the rectangle so that the fill type is a gradient, and a gradient. And then in here, once you specify gradient, you can go in and pick the start and end colors for the gradient. So the way to do that is you can either guess or do what I do, which is, and I'm just going to pull this tool up now, and that is use a tool called Power Toys. One of the Power Toys is this one called a color picker. And once you install Power Toys on your machine, it's Windows key, Shift and C. And what that will give me is, I'm going to do that now, Windows key, Shift key and C. Can you see that as I move my mouse key around, it picks up what the RGB value is of the color. So if I just stop that running for a second and pull that page up, Windows Shift and C, and I can pick the beginning and end colors of the gradient. So FFD4EE to go away to FB6AB6. Not terribly helpful to see it like that, but if you go into here, you can once you pick a color, and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to pick a color here. Once you pick the color with the color picker, it tells you what the RGB value is. Now you can do that on any color. If you wanted to copy this color, for example, if I press the Windows Shift and C thing, now you can see what the RGB value is of that. If you want to choose another element on the screen, let's say that very dark pink there's the RGB value for that. So to create the correct gradient, like I said, I got a T rectangle, I drew it onto the screen, and then chose the fill, and the fill type is a gradient, and the color for the gradient, you double click on here, up comes this, you click on this part, which is the beginning part of the gradient, put in your RGB value that I just used the Windows Power Toy color picker to pick, click on that dot there, and that's the end color of the gradient, and again use the Windows pick color tool to pick the other color, and then you can change the direction. So if you wanted the gradient like this one to go from top to bottom, in fact it's not that one, it's this one, I think. No, this one. If you want it to go from top to bottom in a different angle, then you can change this minus 60 degree here. So all that means is that this gradient is not going horizontally like this, it's actually going at a 60 degree angle. I missed how you got the color picker. Okay, that's fine. Let me just pull that up. I'm going to just go into my browser and put it up where you can download it. Because I always know that I use tools and people go, oh, I never heard of that tool. Here we go. So go to, just in your search bar, just type in Power Toys, like that, Power Toys, and it will go to the right place. And it's this page, and you can download it. You install Power Toys, very, very easy. We'll actually install it from Microsoft site, so you know it's the real thing. And you know, it is a genuine Microsoft product. It doesn't come shipping in Windows by default, but if you install it, one of the first things I do when I get a new PC is I install 7-Zip, which is a zip archive tool, and Power Toys. The reason is, as a UI designer, which is what I do a lot of, I really want to pick colors from nature. Sometimes when I'm creating a theme for an app, I might have a photograph that's got what's the word I'm looking for? Like a logo, a company logo in it or something like that. So if we went to, say, the Canva site again, and let's say we wanted to create a copy of the Canva logo, and we wanted to use the color scheme for our app to be the color that fit in with Canva, so that our Canva app looked like it belonged to Canva, and Canva then go off and sell your app or whatever. Or any other company. Let's say you got hired by Coca-Cola to create a mobile app. Again, same thing. They will probably have a reference design language book, is what they tend to call it. Just need to drink for a second. Excuse me. They'll have a book that's a style guide, a design reference. We do at Embarcadero. But if you can't do that, if your company you're working for is a local company, then the Windows color pick will do it. PowerToys has got a lot of other nice, cool things with it. If I just pull it over again, the enable modules are things like always on top, so you can make a window always stay on top. Find my mouse. Watch what happens when I double click my mouse. I'm double clicking my control key, so it shows me where my mouse is, because I've got 3K screens, 4K screens, and this is the one I'm on here broadcasting from is a regular HD thing, but it does all sorts of other exciting things like peek your desktop. Power rename is very, very useful. You can rename a whole load of files in a folder. You just select the files you want to rename, and it'll rename them using wildcards and stuff like that. It's very, very powerful. Shortcut guide. If I do Windows key and / it'll show a shortcut guide up on the screen. I don't use a lot of these workspaces. You can do that. So, but the one that everybody sees me use and thinks is cool is this one. I want to pick a color. Boof, I do that, and then it gives me RGB. And to define any color in RAD Studio, just double click on the color, and then you've got the RGB values there. A is for the alpha. This is the amount of transparency. 255 means it's not at all transparent. 0 means it's completely transparent. And 125 would mean it's halfway transparent. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I've covered all the bits and bobs you want. There's quite a lot of, someone else is saying you can also use color cop. Yes, that's another tool that does a similar thing. I like the Microsoft PowerToys one just because it's a Microsoft product, and they do a lot of different bits and bobs to it. But yeah, that's how you do it. So get the RGB values. You can paste values in here, that hexadecimal values, but to be completely honest, the problem with Delphi is it does these colors in a slightly weird way, and it's easier to just use the RGB values and the alpha blending value there. So that's it, and that's all we do. So to recap, I went to Canva, which I absolutely think is a great design product, but so is Figma and the other design sites that I told you about. No, thank you. I don't want to open it in the app. Stop nagging me. Exported this as a PowerPoint. I then went to my folder, and in the folder I renamed the PowerPoint file to .zip, and then I unzipped it in place so they can put all the assets there. I went into PPT, media, and there's all the graphics, proper graphics, and the SVGs as well. So, make sure you are complying with their, someone else says yes, color cop as well. Make sure you're complying with their license restrictions. You can't go off and resell these as, themes and stuff like that. If you're in competition with them, that's not okay. Not a good idea. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to show you. It's not terribly difficult to do these kind of things, really. And I'm just going to make myself in begin again. There you go. Like that. Yes, I like that a bit better. So Canva is a great site. I'm also going to put the QR code up for Figma, which is another site that's very, very popular. It does have some plugins to export to a few other apps. You see a lot of ones that have done it where there's export to JavaScript. Some of these exports aren't that good because most of the design apps want to have layers. And so you'll get that image as a layer, and then they don't break down very easily. And then creating it in your app is not that straightforward. Sketch is a Mac-only app, and there is an export for creating FireMonkey screens from Sketch. And that was the one I was going to show you today. Unfortunately, when I tried it, it didn't work. And so I kind of had to redo what I was going to do. Go, oh, well, I was going to say, hit this button and it'll create the app by hand. But actually, automatically, but I actually just did it by hand and did it. And, as Cesar says as well, exporting as a PPTX and grabbing these assets like that is a good tip. Yeah, it is. That's what I'm here for. Once you have created your app, and I'm just going to share my screen again for 1 second. I could do that. I can do. Yes, I've forgotten about this. Yeah, they've changed some bits on our broadcasting software, but once you've got those assets in there, you've still got some work to do manually. You've got to understand how to do things in FireMonkey. I really like FireMonkey. You could make this, for example, if you wanted to make that scrolling from the top or keep spinning or something like that. You can do that by going to, I don't know whether I've ever shown you this before, actually, but let's say we want it to come in from the left here. You can say a new float animation instead of that. And then we can say, where will we start from? Well, we'll start from 0. The stop value will be 145, which is the point where it was. And did I just click the wrong thing there by accident? Oh. Yeah, I think I just accidentally, let's go back to that. There it is. Yeah, so let's do it again. Create new float animation. We want the start value to be 145. 0. Oh my God, I just keep clicking it, double clicking it. Let me try that again. New float animation in. There you go. We are going to have a stop value of 145. And this time we're going to affect the, why is that not doing it? Okay, well, I don't know why that's not doing it. I'm obviously clicking the wrong button there. Never do something live that you can do. 145. Create new float animation. Yes. Stop value. 145. Ooh. Well, I don't know why that's happening. Okay, that could be some other bug then. Maybe to do with my screen. Look, I've created all these animations. Look. Oh, yeah. I know why. Yeah, because okay, that was a bad demo. Right, so actually you have to put these float animations in the master, and I'm actually showing the iPhone view. Yeah, I get it now. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is we can ignore those for now, but what I was going to say is you could get this to float in by doing a float animation. That's why it's not showing. I forgot that this is not master view. I wanted to show you the iPhone view. You can do the same thing for Android. You can change the sizes. You're all aware, I hope, that if I click on a view down here, I can actually specifically make a specific view for a particular type of phone. So, for example, an iPhone tablet. If I wanted to, an iPhone tablet's going to be wider and with a greater resolution. So, if I pick the not iPhone tablet, Android tablet. If I pick the Android tablet, I'm going to actually make this fatter and move everything around so that it looks great on those views. But good stuff. I didn't put the lady in there because I don't know who she is, and I'm guessing she's some kind of person for stock photography, or maybe she is, a Dora Montmini. Either way, I don't want to use her likeness even on a demo without actually checking it. You can put some stuff behind this so that if someone clicks on that label or touches that label, then it goes to the website in the browser and all sorts of things as well. But good stuff. I really like Canva. I think it's a nice app, but I would say that Figma and Sketch are probably used just as heavily by other people as well. But you can recreate it in RAD Studio without an awful lot of effort. And this is the key point that I try to make in these things, despite me being overly tired. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. I think we can safely say that, we've taken that reference design and recreated it there. And we would put some information, we would put some stuff on the buttons there so that when they clicked it, then the music would play and all the rest of it. I'm not going to do all that. I just wanted you to see what the apps did and how we can get to the point where we can create a Fire and Monkey app with those graphics in and use these ready-made designs. And they've got loads and loads of them. It's really, a whole ton of them out there. No, thank you. I know I could say stop thinking about it, but I don't want to. Let's say we want to do a Christmas themed app. Yeah, it's all sorts of different weird stuff that they've got. Christmas, Black Friday, Happy Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, whole ton of stuff. Yeah, it's fun. I like graphic design. It's one of those things where being able to do, being able to have some design sense and knowing a few tricks in RAD Studio, you can do some very, very cool things with it. And anything any other app can design system can do, like Visual Studio or something like that, we can do it, and we can do it easier and quicker in many ways. It's worth it. If you haven't already got it, go to there, which goes to the Embarcadero website, and you can download a free copy of the app of RAD Studio. You can also have a free trial, and you got to make sure you are qualified. But apart from that, it's all good. Let's see. Have we got any questions? We got some more people saying hello from El Centro, California. Hello, Pete. In California, which I understand is going to be freezing at some point. And Leandro says it's looking nice. Hey, I always, somebody else did the design. I just added the thing together. That's it. Okay, well, I just wanted to make that a quick kind of, Ian, based on the Canva images, is it possible to create specific areas to manipulate the original buttons in the image, such as advancing to the next track? Yes, you can do that. For example, I'm going to share my screen again so that you can see what I'm talking about. Share that screen and then do this view. So I happen to have got that set up as one image, okay? I'm just going to remove your message there. But let's say that, oh, thanks, Pete. Let's say that instead you wanted them to be separate buttons. First thing you could do is actually make them separate buttons. If you saw Tuesday's webinar, you'll see where I had I recreated a social media app, and it was a copy kind of Instagram, and I created the buttons individually. You could make them transparent, and you could put either SVGs on these buttons, or you could put the graphics on the buttons individually. But let's assume that you'd done that, and instead of this being one big button, this was an individual button. Once you've done that, you can say on click, which is this one. Double click on that, and then if you've got a media player playing in the background, let's say you called it media player, you would just get it to say play. It's as simple as that. In fact, I think I can possibly pull up the palette for a second. Media player. Drop it on here. Let's go back to there. It's called media player 1, I think. Play. Zoom your font up for a second so you can see it. So the control itself is called a media player there, and the individual play button would be play. But let's say you put it on another bot thing, and it was the pause button on stop or something like that. I think it supports pause. No, I think you just say play and continue or something like that. I forget how to do it, but you get the general idea. And obviously the stop button would work, and a few others as well. It's not difficult. And by the way, that media player will work cross-platform. As you can see, it's on here in FMX. And you can also use this to play movies as well. So although you're going to be tending to use a file name, which is an MP3 or something like that, it could just as easily be an MP4 or whatever platform, the iOS probably supports something else like .mov or something like that. Yes, you can literally go onto the control and get it to individually do that action. So media player 1.play. Exactly. Simple, huh? Not difficult. All right, I think that's it. I'm going to go back to my other screen. Sorry, I have multiple screens and it's doing my head in. It was just a quick, heads up on some cool stuff. Next week, I believe, let me have a look on our webinar for next week. Let me just pull that up for 1 second. Because like I say, just before we started doing this, no, that's not the right one. Webinars, here we go. Just before we started doing this webinar, it was a bit of a panic, and plus it was Thanksgiving yesterday, so that's lots of happening. So on Tuesday, we have got 2 important guests. We've actually got Oleg Krylenko. I hope that's how I'm pronouncing his name, who's produced a game called Viking Stories and also a crystal clock thing. And with him is going to be Bruno Firenze from TMS Software, great big supplier of Delphi and RAD Studio components, and TMS Web Core, which is a great product and allows you to create websites just by writing Object Pascal code. But they're coming in for a nice webinar, live webinar, where they're going to chat to each other and talk about their product, show you this Viking Stories game, which is amazing, and just generally, hang out. I'm looking forward to it. So that's Tuesday, and then on the Friday we are going to be doing a app with Richard Hatherall. If you're a fan of Silicon Valley, the TV series, in there they had Jin Lang did one called, and TMS have got Black Friday discounts today. Yes, they do. But Jin Lang was producing an app called Not a Hot Dog. And the idea was, it was a joke app, but the idea was he would take a photo of some food and it would say hot dog if it was a hot dog. And, off they go. Erlich Bachman is going to get some investment from some Silicon Valley bros, investors. And what he hadn't asked was what else it could do. And he took a picture of, I think it was a salad or something like that. And he said, not a hot dog. That was the only thing he could do. So we're going to recreate that, Richard and I, using object recognition. some AI on the Friday. And we're going to do it as quickly as we can, but we reckon that we can do it in time just for a laugh. And that's on Friday. So Tuesday, TMS will be here with Oleg for his Viking Stories app. And then on Friday, not a hot dog, live coding with Richard Haverwell. That might be quite a longer session. It's going to be quite a lot of coding going on. Anyway, I hope you had fun. This is a quickie, not too in depth or anything like that, not too highbrow, just to show you what you can do with some of these design apps. If you can't design these, screen designs yourself, there's lots of resources out there like Figma and Canva, as I showed, and you can get graphic designers to design things for you and then recreate them in FireMonkey. Anything you can see on the screen of anywhere of any kind, you can do with RAD Studio and FireMonkey. Guarantee it. Give me a challenge. You want me to recreate an app? I'll do it. I mean it. Anything. Anyway, have a lot of fun. We will see you. Nice webinar now, Ian, says Nigel. Thank you. We will see you again.